Ave Regina,
Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, estes nostra salve.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus said to his disciples, "Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. Stop judging, and you will not be judged. Stop condemning, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and gifts will be given to you. A good measure, packed down, shaken down and overflowing, will be poured into your lap. For the measure with which you measure will in return be measured out to you." The Gospel of the Lord.
According to the divine mechanics, the operational principle refers to lose, to gain, receive when you give. In today's reading, once again Jesus presents before us the generosity of our Heavenly Father. But most of the time our loyalty is to this world and its pleasures. Thereby, we are not able to give ourselves to God. Lord, giving His teaching on a practical Christian life, give and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, and will be put into your lap. For the measure you give is the measure you get back. Here Jesus brings a very concrete example from the market scene to drive home his point of generously giving. Giving to God and obtaining His grace and favors. This is the exhortation He gives His disciples and all the followers of Him. Our giving ought to be measured not by weight but by volume. That refers to a far greater amount of giving. Our giving perhaps not be curtailed down by clever manipulation. Rather, it has to be done very generously and lavishly. St. Paul, in his letter to 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 6 would say, "Whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly. Whoever reaps bountifully, he will also reap bountifully." God's giving is not to be seen just for material or physical aspects. In fact, that would just be a very limited and low level of understanding. God's gift are to be understood more from a spiritual perspective. Gift of His mercy to live a life in union with Him. Gift of His grace to be faithful and more committed. Gift of His love to be better human beings and be more charitable. Gift of His salvation to enjoy eternal bliss and happiness with Him. All these gifts will be surely lavished and given in a way, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, and will be poured out into our laps. With one condition, that we need to give ourselves to God fully. And we need to make a lot of sacrifices and need to give without ceasing. All these gifts that we experience in our life or enjoy in our life is the God-given gift. We have to come to that understanding, then only we also give to God generously and to the people around us. And the greatest exchange is seen and experienced in the Holy Eucharist. At every Holy Mass, let us give ourselves entirely to the Lord, especially at Holy Mass, and through the Mass at all times of the day, to all persons in our life, especially as we enter into this new month. Let us make it a point that I will be available for God as He is available for us in every seconds. Let us also keep these words of the Fulton Jesuit, which will be grace to hear. You give me your humanity, I will give you my divinity. You give me your time, I will give you my eternity. You give me your broken heart, I will give you love. You give me our nothingness, I will give you my all. Look at the second part of it. God is there to provide everything for us. What we have to look into is the first part of these 4 lines. I will read it once again. You give me your humanity, I will give you my divinity. You give me your time, I will give you my eternity. You give me your broken heart, I will give you love. You give me your nothingness, I will give you my all.
Regina Celi,
Letare